ですから。
汚れたらロクサーヌが拭いてくれるだろ。
もちろんです。
購入された家具をお届けに参りました。
So this might sound silly, but one of the things that I love about Harem and Labyrinth of Another World is oftentimes I find myself forgetting just what the anime is. And really what it is it's a plot device, it's a story that is supposed to drive home ecchi, right? Like, if you think about it, it's a story created around fan service. That's completely fine. Oftentimes, though, it's so good that I forget about all the ecchi stuff. This episode is focused around Michio and around Roxanne moving to a new town. And when they move to that new town, they're finally, based on what his goal was, they're finally ready to move to the next step. The next step that they want to move to is getting a home and building a home and being in a home as they want to grow their party. And Roxanne fully knows that to be an adventurer, to be an explorer, you need to have more people in your party. They need to simply have more space. They can't cram another 2 or 3 people inside of their rented hotel space, you know, with one bed. They just simply can't do it. Even if they have 2 beds, eventually they just need more room to live. So the episode was focused and really hyper-focused, hyper-honed in on them going to Val or Valet, however you want to say it, and them going to Curatar and finding a place that is cheap, but I mean, not too cheap, but like within their budget, but that's not too far from civilization. But they don't have to worry about the distance too much because of Michio's warp abilities. They find a place that it's like a little town that has a shopping district, has a, you know, it's lively enough, but it's not crazy far from the labyrinth. So something in the middle. And the rest of the episode really is just them finding a place, Michio going to the labyrinth in Curatar for the first time, setting up a warp point there, coming back, them getting furniture, working out a deal with the shop lady, who is also the realtor of that town, finding a spot that they both like, agreeing on it. It has a toilet, so that's a really huge positive. Them buying furniture and supplies for it, really spending time with each other, having even the let's say goodbye to the hotel room scene. Even them saying goodbye to the hotel and having the little ecchi scene was wholesome in a way. You know, it's like they're saying goodbye to a part of the time that they spent there. I thought that was all really, really cute. Then we finally get to him, using his wand for the first time, going into the labyrinth, testing out his magic, all really cool stuff. He sets up the warp point in the new labyrinth that they're going to be exploring from now on. I really thought this episode was going to give us the next party member. That seems to not be the case. I really do think, though, that the next episode, I really think that once they start exploring the labyrinth, here's what I think is going to happen. And this is just all my anime knowledge of watching too many anime. I think they're going to warp in to the new labyrinth at Curatar, and I think that someone's going to see them warp, and that person, obviously girl, will become the new party member. That's what I think is going to happen, so I'm just waiting for that moment to happen, so that's really what I think is going to happen. So we have all of those things that occurred this episode. Then we get to them, how do you say it? Then we get to them christening their new bed, and Michio gets to do some butt stuff. And that's how we end the episode. We end the episode with butt stuff. So I was like, good for you, Michio. You get in the butt. And I like how the end, too, he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see, we don't have a candle, we don't have a lantern right now. I couldn't see where I was putting it in. And she's like, oh no, you couldn't see. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that's how we end the episode. So I'm like, okay, good ups. But overall, really wholesome episode. Really wholesome. Really interesting episode. 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10 episode. Really high rated episode. I think it's one of the better episodes of the season just because it was really wholesome. And I really enjoyed watching it. I was really invested in them finding a new house. I thought that was really cool. And then we ended with butt stuff. Bringing us all back in to remind us, like, this is a harem ecchi anime. You get back here. This ain't no slice of life. We do butt stuff here. So, okay. All right. They do it. Well, I'm leaving you guys some those thoughts. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Appreciate you being here. I'll see you next week for more butt stuff. I don't know. Anime, right? All right. See you next week. Peace.